In other news, K2 Space recently announced that it has achieved a valuation of $3 billion following a $250 million Series C raise. I spoke with its co-founder and CEO, Karan Kunjar, about how it plans to deploy the capital and what's next for the company. Take a listen.
K2 is developing the highest power satellites that have ever been flown in orbit. We believe that the future is higher power, larger platforms, and we're really pushing the bounds of what's possible as it relates to satellite design.
All right. So when you're developing these satellites, what are they doing? Where are they going? Can you dive into that a little bit more?
Yeah. So we built these satellites to basically be the backbone for new communications layers that are being rolled out, new compute layers that are being rolled out, as well as a number of national security mission areas that we're going to be focusing on. Our overarching thesis is that we're about to move from an era where we built many small satellites that were optimized to be really close to the Earth in terms of orbit, to now an era where we're going to build really large, really high power satellites that can be deployed anywhere across different orbits in Earth, across this lunar space, and eventually across the solar system.
All right. And congratulations on this Series C round of funding. $250 million puts your company at a $3 billion valuation. How will you allocate the additional capital?
We're going to use the capital for two things. One is to continue to invest in R&D. So we are vertically integrating the entire staff for operating in space. We're really rolling out a completely new infrastructure layer. So a large part of this, the capital that we're raising is going to go towards incremental R&D. The rest of it is going to be used to continue to scale up mass production. You can see behind me a 180,000 square foot factory where we're building the satellites. And our goal is to scale up from 1 to eventually 100 satellites per year in this facility.
And I understand that you co-founded K2 with your brother, Neil. What is the story behind that? Were you discussing it when you were kids?
So I tell anyone who's looking for a co-founder, it's really easy. All you have to do is convince your parents to have a younger brother that's smarter than you. So I was fortunate enough, I got to start this with my brother, Neil, who was before this an engineer at SpaceX. And yeah, we'd always talked about it, starting something together at some point in time. And back in 2021, early 2022, it all kind of came together and we saw a real interesting opportunity to build something together.
Were you interested in space growing up?
Yeah, it's always been something. You know, actually, one of our first memories of space was when we were kids. We moved into this new house. And one of the kids' bedrooms had an entire wall that was the Earthrise, which is this famous picture of the Earth rising over the moon. We fought over that room because of both of us wanted it. I went out because of big brother privileges, and our love of space has kind of started since then.
Wow, and look at where you are now. And as I mentioned, your valuation is at $3 billion. What do you think that says about investor confidence in the satellite industry and in your technology specifically?
Yeah, it's interesting. This round comes on the back of about $500 million in contracts to commercial and national security customers. And so what we're seeing here is something that historically would have been in the realm of deep tech, right? New technological development with a certain level of risk, but is now actually becoming a real, tangible commercial business that investors can underwrite. We have customers that investors can look at. We have contracts that are signed. And it's starting to look a lot more like a really fundamental, strong business, which has allowed us to start to command the valuations that we are commanding.
Right. And how do modern heavy lift rockets change the game for companies like yours? And what capabilities do you think this new funding is going to help unlock?
Yeah, it all comes back to launch vehicle capacity. As the size of the launch vehicles are increasing and the frequency of those launch vehicles to orbit are going up, the amount of mass that we can put in orbit is going up. I like to equate it to, it's as if we were in the age of dial-up internet and we're about to go to broadband. There are all sorts of new applications that can now sit on top of it. And for us, what we think that is moving larger, pushing up the amount of power, because almost every application in space ties back in power to degrees that were previously not possible, to enable new forms of communications constellations, new forms of compute on orbit, as well as a number of other national security constellations.
All right. And looking ahead, what milestones should we expect from K2 in the next 12 to 18 months?
Yeah, we have a number of milestones coming up. So, first in about 4 months, in March of 2026, we're planning to have our first mission where we'll have the first full satellite coming off the line get tested on orbit. It's going to be a lot of new systems all operating together at the same time for the first time. So we're expecting to get a lot of data back on how things perform, what works, what doesn't. And then 12 months after that, go up and do it again, building off the lessons we learned from this first mission with 3 incremental satellites. And so this is really a parallel process where we're burning down risk on the technical side of the platform while scaling up mass production to be able to deliver against some critical commercial and government contracts.